Welcome to the Top 200 podcast with your host, Herschel Fawn.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Herschel Fawn from High School Top 200. Welcome back to the Monday Morning Media Podcast. I am your host, Herschel Fawn. I run High School Top 200. And all those that are here for the first time, welcome. I'm the one that is behind all the work that goes on in First and Rugby here and putting it out to the people. Also, if you're back again, welcome back again. And I've got some stuff for you today. Because it's finals time, I've got a bunch of games that I want to go over, a bunch of competitions. But also, first off, before we start, make sure we get onto my socials. On Facebook, it's just High School Top 200. Also on YouTube, it's High School Top 200. It's pretty much how you found this, because this was only one of the platform that it's on. On Instagram and TikTok, it's on HS Top 200. And then jumping on the website for all the changes in rankings from year 11s, year 12s, year 13s, and also the top 100 teams in the country. Go on to hstop200.com. $5 subscription per month. I know a bunch of you guys that love your coffee and you spend way more money on your coffee daily, probably 3 times a day, 2 times a day. I'm just asking for $5 a month. So get all your friends, your family, your grandparents, your uncles, aunties, cousins, neighbors, the guy at the dairy, the guy at Woolworths, people down at the Z Station, anyone that you may know. Jump on to hstop200.com. $5 subscription a month, and you get all the kind of stuff that you would need on First 15 Rugby here on High School Top 200. So we got to get into this because there is a bunch of stuff. I always say that I don't want to talk too long, and I don't want to have it over an hour, but I usually go over an hour because I just love this stuff and I talk too much about it. But I do have a bunch of stuff. I do. If we start off with the Super 8 competition, congrats to Palmy, winning their first, I think it's their first title, Super Rugby title, or Super 8 title. They get the Moeska back again. I think they get it back because, I better double check that. I just assumed that it was put up. It was put up for major games. Anyways, congrats to them. I think the biggest takeaways that I got out of it, apart from Jamie and Hunter pretty much going off in that game, for both sides, I thought the defense from both sides pretty much shut down most of the offense for each other. Because I realized that the normal stuff that I had seen them doing, all of that kind of stuff was out the window. I mean, Jamie did make a couple of spaces open up. Hunter was kind of the same, making the runs that they did make, but they usually a lot more than that. And even on the other side, like Tautaki wasn't getting the runs that he usually gets. Jake's same, like Cody didn't get the ball that much. Bronson wasn't having that many, big runs. But even Alex and then on their side, or Villy, Nehemiah was the other one. He wasn't getting those runs that they usually get in most games. And so the defense all over pretty much was the big thing for me that I noticed so much, is that they studied each other enough to know, and they've been to camp with each other enough to know that Tautaki likes getting the ball like this, Alex runs it from this angle, Villy gets it like this, Jamie will play the ball this way, and then they had answers for each other. And I always, as I was watching it, I kind of had this feeling of like, who's kind of going to go off script? And, they call it, obviously sometimes they call it X Factor, but I thought like the person that would go off script first, I thought was the person that was the team that was going to make more ground. Because all the games are televised, you get to know each other. A lot of these guys that have been in it from year 11, year 12, know each other, especially when they, listen to the things that I say or write or where people are ranked, and they have a look at that and they know sort of who to watch out for. So after a while, these players get to know each other, and then they go, oh, I know this guy's tendencies is to do this, this, and this. He did this in the Hamilton game. He did this in the Tauranga game. He did this against Gisborne. They did this as a team against New Plymouth. Napier, they were kind of like this. They struggled against this with Hastings. And so to me, like, coaching staffs did their coaching staff thing. Both teams looked like they prepared really, really well. I was just looking for the guy to go off script. Who was the first guy to go off script? Who was the first guy to sort of realize, like, if we know that the tendencies are like this, and we know that this is what they're setting up, this is what their setup looks like. You got 3 guys standing up here. They got an off group of there standing back. There's 2 people standing out a bit wide. I was looking for the guy to go, oh, they're waiting for us to do this. To me, Jamie and Hunter were the first ones to sort of pick that up. And those 2 are the first ones to sort of expose it to the point where, like, I felt like defenses cancelled each other out and someone just needed to make a play on offense. And to me, they were the ones that made the plays on offense and pretty much got them the title. And sort of like, they've got to be the favourites to come through the top 4 on that side. And that Hurricane side. I know Hastings and Napier probably got something, I think they pretty much showed Napier the week before that they're a bit ahead of them. Hastings, on the other hand, will be different. But I kind of looked at it in that sort of perspective of, like, I know the coaching staffs are going to be great. All the coaches know exactly what each other's kind of thinking, what each other's going to play out. But I was wondering who the players were on the field that were going to make those changes to their game plan. Who off the rip just goes, oh, he's standing out of place. He's standing where he's supposed to be. This guy's getting a bit lazy on defense. And then where do we start, pinpointing these attacks and pressuring those points to push back? Because in the ground like that, and I think they all know now that Palmy's ground is pretty crappy. They know Palmy's ground is rubbish, that it's just going to be muddy, it's just going to be slippery as and swampy, and it's like another thing. Bloody do your grounds up, man, Palmy. You guys are like a prestigious, traditional powerhouse school in New Zealand. You guys can't even get your field straight. Honestly, your field looks like what I've seen country teams' fields looks like. Like country, like, actually no. Tikawiti High School's rugby field, Odo's rugby field, Te Aumuru's rugby field, these are just Hamilton schools, like Waikato schools, are better than your fields at Palmy Boys. And I remember playing at Palmy Boys in 2001. And it was rubbish then too. And it was a sunny day, rained the day before. They came out in their all whites, and I thought, far out, why is this bad? But I think if you play in Super 8 and you've been in the team a year before or whatever, you sort of know how it's going to be. And that's exactly what they played with. They played with a ground that they knew that they can dominate on, but also sort of the tendencies that come along with having like a crappy field like that. And they played it really well. The defenses cancelled each other out. I thought both defenses were great. Real good physicality, like nothing like dirty. Like I didn't think it was like dirty at all. I like physical defense. I like defenses that teeter the edge of being dirty, but still keeping it within their game and within the game and sort of like the integrity of it. But I thought both teams kind of did that as well. I thought both of them were physical to the point, and they pretty much cancelled each other out. And like, Silverstream is probably going to be the other problem, but I don't sort of see them at that level with Hastings and Palmy. And those two are going to have to decide, Hastings and Palmy, whether who's going to be going in for that. And Fielding, Fielding will be the other one. But I don't know if they have the co-ed thing going on again or what. I don't know. They always mix it up with how they do nationals now. But anyways, those will probably be the 4 teams that I would pick for that. And Palmy should be at the head of that right now, and probably should come through in the top 4. And they would probably be... should I say... No, I'll wait till everyone gets to the top 4. I have a feeling the top 4 is going to be what I think it is, but I'll let everyone know after what my thoughts are for who's going to be coming in the top 4. But anyways, that was a great final. Congratulations to you fellas and what you guys have accomplished for your school. Bringing that shield back for the first time. Finally put your name down on there after making countless finals. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a good season. There were so many close games, like even like the Christchurch boys Nelson one, which I thought was a really good game too. And in all honesty, I thought Nelson pushed them so much that because I didn't actually think Nelson was going to be as dominant as they were, and it was a 15 points ahead. You know, that start was what they sort of held on to and kind of rested on that for a while. I thought that they kind of rested on it, and Christchurch were the ones that were doing all the attacking, for the most part attacking, and Nelson cleaned up mistakes that they made and just countered it and made the most of it, and all of that turned into like tries and stuff like that. And even when they got close to the line, Nelson's toughness like really fought them over the line, and those tries where they were just on the line, just bashing it, and they always kind of just found a way. But I thought the middle of the field and the middle of the game was all controlled by Christchurch boys and the way that they run their sets. And Christchurch boys played a lot better, but Nelson freaking surprised me so much with what they brought out and how they played. And I don't think people realize that Nelson's college is not supposed to be that good this year. Even their coaching staff know they're not supposed to be good this year. Not like how they are. But these boys showed that, I think by like the 3rd or 4th week, I think the coaches realized that this team was actually a really, really good team, even though most of them are new. And a bunch of these guys are all going to be leaving out of this team again. So they don't really have this rebuilding kind of situation right now. But what Tom Perkins and that were able to do, I thought was like massive. I thought they were just so good. And even Potter was the same. As just like, I just had this feeling, and I know you get Nelson College, their coaching staff were the same. As just like, oh man, we've got a bunch of dudes leaving. next year. We've got a bunch of like high talented New Zealand rep players going, heaps of Crusader players going, and what are we going to do with this next group? And this next group actually exceeded what I think that they knew that they were supposed to do as a team, and they are probably the biggest surprising team in the country of where they got to, because I didn't expect them to beat St Andrews or even St Bede's. I didn't think they'll beat St Bede's, and St Bede's has their own problems too with such a good team like that, and they're so up and down. And it just showed even just in yesterday Saturday's game how up and down they can be, you know. And I hope that those guys figured it out, because they're such a good team on paper, and they just didn't produce anything this season that was even like that we could remotely just grab onto and go, okay, this is what this team is. Up here one week, down here the next week, up here. But the Nelson College year is exactly what, you know, like I just didn't think much of them at the beginning of this year. I thought, we'll see how they go, probably 6th in the Mars Toyota. But I was like, man, I thought they played so good this whole year. Made a lot of people really, really believe in what they were doing, and shout out to the coaching staff as also to those players. Christchurch boys are just too strong, and they're strong everywhere, you know, around the field, like, you know, with Blake and Cam, and you know, making, you know, Jonty being out there, like, you know, so hard out, you know, getting in and around the rucks, even doing his thing on offense where, you know, he just fights for those extra meters. Actually, you know, Telefoni's the other one as well. It's like where he's, you know, he smashed through, and he got only a few opportunities yesterday when he's really used to a lot of these, you know, open ball running spaces, and, you know, usually smashes into the line. But, you know, Nelson did great just shutting them down and pretty much matching up every single attack that they had, and tired them out every single time and waited for those mistakes, and then, you know, capitalized on every opportunity that they had to pick up a ball or to chase down a kick or to, you know, a pass, you know, going behind a runner that they just went and scooped up, you know, things like that. A great intercept, which was like, I think everyone on TV was just like, oh, I know he's not going to pass that ball, and then he ends up passing the ball and he's kind of just standing there. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you kind of learn, you know. So, and it's a bright future for what Christchurch boys have got next year too, and they're going to be one of the top teams next year as well, and maybe for the next 2 years with, you know, some of those year 11s and year 12s that they have all coming back. But yeah, I thought that was a mean game. I still haven't watched the Christ and the Marlborough game yet. I think I have it sent to me. I've got to check. But another one of those surprise ones. Marlborough boys will be gutted. You know, just having so many big games that they've had this year. So many big opportunities where they knew that they. I think they knew where they wanted to be. They knew how good they were, and they know that they should be the best in the South Island. Christchurch boys have something to say about that. Christ obviously have something to say about that now, and Christ going 2 weeks in a row just beating these top dog teams. But Southland boys is another one that's probably out there that going, you know, we're trying to come away with the South Island title too. So it's going to be interesting. You know, to see what's going to go on there. But hopefully I get to watch the game and really see for myself what happened and how this game really played out. But that Christchurch boys, Christ College finals going to be pretty massive. Yeah, and it's really good to see, because like I was watching. watching like the Wellington competition. Like I watched Wellington College and Town. Archie Sims is just he just stood out way ahead of everybody, and he really took every opportunity to show why he's like one of the best first fives in the country, and how fearless he is. I think he's like so fearless in the way that he will take up any opportunity, not scared to take the ball up himself. He knows he's going to get ragdolled at some point. He knows that he's just going to get picked off the ground and held up and stuff like that. But that kind of stuff never really stops him from trying to get that edge of everybody else and trying to push the other defenders to make sure that they know that he's going to be a threat no matter what. And even the way in which he played on Saturday against Town, who tried their best, and Ethan and his boys were, they came out, but after a while, Cole was just too good, and I have a tough time thinking that Cole can do this again to Silverstream, because I believe that Silverstream is the strongest team there. At the beginning of the year, I wasn't so sure if it was Silverstream strength, but I think right now I'm looking at Silverstream as I'll say that they are the better team. I'll say Silverstream's the better team and more well-read in what they can do. And I'm so glad that Rafkill sort of pulled it together, from the other game that they had against Silverstream where it was like 70-0 or something like that, and they really, came back in and made at least a little bit of a game of it. But Rafkill needs to sort of pick themselves up and figure out this competition that they're in after leaving the CNI. And then, hopefully they have some better years. Great for them making that top four. Wellington College is just going to find it hard with Silverstream, and I am pretty much picking Silverstream to win this Wellington Cup. And I don't know if it's going to be an easy game. I like to think it's going to be close, and maybe it'll be close because it's a final. But I see Silverstream winning this by 12 to 15 points, and they have injuries too. That's the other thing, is that they've had injuries. Their midfield that they have is not really the midfield that they sort of were set out to, I guess, plan for. But this is just what they've got, and they've made it work. Even within the loose trio, it was the same thing. But Elijah's there. I think that he's gonna play the way that he plays and lead the way that he leads, and I hope that he makes a push for New Zealand secondary schools too, because he's just that good of a player. But in terms of the Wellington comp, Town is going to be a really strong team next year. I guess in a comp that Wellington is, Town have done great, but next year's the year that I see St. Pat's Town making more of an attempt at winning that title. And Cole and also Stream will probably make a push for it, but Town will be one I'm kind of looking at for next year's one. other finals, CNI final, fielding in St. Peter's, Cambridge, which is going to be one of those showdowns one as well. In terms of that game, like St. Peter's beat them at the beginning of the year when fielding came up here to play. I wasn't sure at how good St. Peter's was going to be this year. I knew that they had a bunch of guys all coming back. Alapati was one that I knew would be the main player for that team, along with Finn and Cruz and those guys in the back line. But Alapati was the one that I was looking at, and I was wondering how much of an effect he would have on that team. And it's not a secret of how good it is, or how good they are. But I think they did a lot better than they did a lot better than what I thought they were going to be. Jesse, Ben, both of the Kobe's, Jackson, all these guys in the forwards that I didn't know that they were going to, be that dominant. Even Barnes is like another one where, these guys just physically dominate. And that's where I think the Whakavava brothers are going to be sort of put to work. Rupeni's going to be put to work. Those guys, Luke as well, like all these guys for fielding are going to have a problem with how big and physical the St. Peter's side is going to be. And Lenny and them are going to have to just be on the A game, to be honest. Because even James in that out in the back, Joseph, like they're all just like Joseph in the forwards as well. Like these guys, they're just gonna struggle to try and maintain it. And I know Justin Luck and them have a game plan for it, and I'm going to be interested to see what it's going to be down in Topol when I go down this weekend, because I'm going to go down there this weekend. But I do see St. Peter's winning this game, and I'm just going to put it out there. It doesn't really matter. I see St. Peter's winning this game. I think that they're going to be. They are leading the comp. They are the ones that are most informed. Fielding is obvious to me is the second one. Fielding's game against Lindisfarne was one of those real close ones as well, where it came down to sort of the end. But St. Peter's, this is the other thing as well, and this is like a Waikato problem. And St. Peter's this Wednesday are supposed to be playing Hamilton boys to go through to the top four, for the Hamilton side of stuff. So they're supposed to be playing Hamilton boys on Wednesday and then playing their finals on Saturday. Now, this always happens to the CNI teams. It's happened to St. John's, it's happened to St. Paul's, and pretty much Hamilton boys say, well, this is where they've given us. No, we're not going to change our day or anything like that. It's like, this is the day that they've given us. And it always seems to be in that bracket where it's always the Wednesday before the finals on the Saturday. So either you try and play both games against the Hamilton boys on the Wednesday, get bashed up, and try and show up to a finals on a Saturday against another team like Fielding, and then trying to play your best again after you've already been bashed up on the Wednesday. So St. John's said the same thing. They go, don't worry about it then, we won't go top four because we can't play our finals and win those finals by playing Hamilton boys on a Wednesday before the game. It's ridiculous to ask something like that. And like, it's almost, And the thing is that Waikato should be in the position to just change it. Like, be fair. Like, I just think be fair. Why not play it on the Wednesday after? You know? Why can't they just play it on the Wednesday after? Or is that too much of a detriment to Hamilton boys, which every other school, you know, all the other schools here in Hamilton think that. And it's like, well, you guys don't want to change it because Hamilton boys don't want to change it. Because it would stop them or give them a harder route to go into the finals. You would rather than play on the Wednesday, have that Saturday off, have the next Wednesday off and play the next Saturday against either Tauranga boys or Rotorua or, you know, New Plymouth or whoever their path is to their finals. But it's pretty unfair the way that they've got it, and there has to be some way that you can, you know, that you can change it. Has to be some way that you can change it, because it's just been unfair, you know, like. And I mean, like, most teams probably go, oh yeah, we can give Hamilton boys a go. We don't know if we can beat them, but we'll give them a really good go. But you're not going to risk that for, you know, your competition, you're being in the finals of your competition. It's just, to me, it's just ridiculous. And there's a different answer to what they're doing now. And I feel sorry for these CNI teams who have put together some really, really good teams. Like St. Paul's have had some really good teams in the past, but have had to sort of force that Wednesday game because they don't want to move it. You know, Hamilton or Waikato Rugby is saying, no, we can't move it. It has to be played on this day. And so you're just tossing up, like, which one are you going to do? St. Peter's probably have that same thing this week, and I would be surprised if they even play this game against Hamilton boys. I would be surprised if they play this game. And in all honesty, I would say the same thing and go, stuff that game then. We just want to win the CNI. You know, and it's a sad reality that you kind of have to come face to face with, and I feel sorry for St. Peter's, because I actually do think St. Peter's has a team that can beat Hamilton boys, and it'll be good to see what they can do against Hamilton boys. And they have a team to beat them. I don't think they can beat them, but I know it's going to be a game where it's going to be like 17-13, something like that. You know, it's going to be a 25-20 game. But you should still be able to give them that opportunity to let them have a shot at it without, you know, ruining chances of the other goals that they have in mind. To me, it's just really sad. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I always go to the CNI Finals down in Taupo, and I like watching all the teams there, you know, meet together the last day, all that kind of stuff. It's just a real cool day to go and see them. The other competition, in the North Harbour, they got their finals, where they've got Westlake and Rangitoto, and then Whangarei Boys High School and Rosmini. So I think the thing with this game is that Rangitoto College has beaten Westlake Boys this year, and Whangarei Boys has beaten Rosmini this year. And so, believing that you're better or believing that you can win this game is not one of those like, oh, I think we can do it. It's like, no, they've done it before. So, it is interesting if they can get into, if Whangarei Boys and Rangitoto can get into the mindset of, this is finals rugby. People don't expect us to be in the finals. We have beaten these teams before, and we can bring that same energy back into this and match that finals energy with Westlake Boys and Rosmini and go, we can cause an upset here and we can make that final. rather than these two same teams making the finals every single year. Now saying that is like just saying that. Whether they can do it or not, I don't know. Whether they can do it or not, I wouldn't bet they can. I am more confident in Whangarei beating Rosmini than Westlake losing to Rangitoto. I think Whangarei boys can beat Rosmini. I think that's a more fair matchup than what Rangitoto is to Westlake. And that's just what I'm choosing now because that's my opinion on things. Even though Rangi's 1-1, Westlake is 1-1, 1-1 each. And when it comes down to it, I'm just going to go, I'm going to go Westlake and Travis and Arlo and, Solomon, like Solomon and like these boys, I'm going with them rather than going with the Rangi boys, Just if like I was a betting man situation kind of yes. But the Whangarei is, that's a different squad. Rosmini is supposed to be better on paper, but I don't think that would be the case. So like if there was like a situation of like who I think that could be, is like I can see a Westlake Whangarei final more than like a Rangi Rosmini final, that kind of situation. And so yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. They play up in Whangarei too, so I guess you'll just see what happens. But I hope a bunch of people from Whangarei turn out. I hope they pack that whole field, pack up the bank, have a lot of noise, have a lot of support. I hope the boys all turn up to the school and just cheer their school on, because getting a playoff spot at your home ground and making sure that that you're backed by your community and by your team, and that's for all these teams. The same thing is just like I hope that they're all backed up. One thing is that Christ College and the Christchurch boys, that's going to be a packed game. They probably should move it to a stadium, move it to one of the small clubs with seatings, better grounds. Not better grounds, because both of those guys' fields, both of them are really good, but more space, parking, all that kind of stuff, because that's going to be a big deal. Semi-finals. In the 1A, Kings and Grammar is one. St. Kitts and Sacred Heart is the other. St. Kitts and Sacred Heart just drew on Saturday. And so they're going to have to run it back. I would be... I don't think... Well, I'm going to watch the game. I've got the game. I have a feeling that it's going to be a coach's difference on this. The coaching staffs for St. Kitts and Sacred Heart, especially for a draw, they're going to have to come out with something different. They're going to have to come out with something more. Maybe they're just going to have to chance it, see what happens. Maybe throw a couple of different looks in their attacks. Maybe some mismatch selections, things like that. Maybe don't go with a bigger team, maybe go with a faster team. Work more on space and pace rather than, the grinded out one-off runners, the kind of Auckland rugby ball that they play all the time. Just doesn't work. But to me, I think that will be the better game to go and see is the St. Kitts Sacred Heart, because I think that's going to be a way more interesting game. I think it's going to be closer. Auckland Grammar is great, and that's fine. Auckland Grammar beat Liston beat Kings, all within those weeks. There's a couple of weeks in a row. During the holidays, before and after the holidays. So Auckland Grammar have a team that they can win. I just have this feeling that if you've got like 5 guys that can make New Zealand secondary schools on that Kings side, and you don't win, then that's pressure. That's pressure. Having a team that you're pretty much going, we've got about 5 professionals on this team. We've got about 6 professional players on this team, and probably 2 NRL players on this team, maybe 3. And you can't win with that team. That's going to be like that year that Kings or that St. Kitts with that superstar-studded team lost to St. Peter's. And that superstar-studded team have All Blacks in it. So, and a bunch of Super Rugby guys in it. So, to me, it's just like, that's the situation that we're in. So, Auckland Grammar have a chance to knock off a team that is just have a bunch of professional, legitimate professional players in the making kind of thing. And King's College do have all the pressure on them. King's College are the ones that who are in that position to go, we are the best in the country, we are the best in Auckland, and we're going to take out this competition. And then we're going to go on to win nationals. And it's a realistic thing for them. Auckland Grammar, on the other hand, is going, we kind of got a young team. We've got a superstar midfield here. We've got a bunch of guys here that next year are going to be some real key, national-looking players that, should make New Zealand reps next year. But we're the younger team. We're the ones that we don't have the pressure on us. Grammar don't have the pressure. Grammar don't have the run out and going, they need to win this game. Grammar is just like, bro, we're pretty lucky that we're here, and we just come out and play our best. Just go through our motions, go through our game plan, make sure we execute. We don't have to rush. Patience is on our side. We don't have to come back and go, we needed to win this. It's none of that kind of talk. Those guys can't lose this game. They have all the pressure to score more points. And I think if Grammar score the first try and even play a solid defense for that next 7 to 10 minutes and slow things down, Kings are going to have a hard time throughout that whole game. If I was Grammar, I would just come out 100% and try and even get some first points. Even if it's just a kick at goal, something like that, and just pressure on defense all day. Pressure defense all day. And we know that Nico can come out and defend anybody. Langi's the same with, all these guys, what's his name? No.14's the other one. They're all really good defenders. Play that defensive game. Be that defensive team. Kick every opportunity that you can. But when it comes to defense, just defend right to the end. Make every single tackle. Everyone fly around the field, make those tackles. I think that Grammar needs to come out with not a big team. I think they have to come out with a quicker team, a more fitness-based team, a team that will that can play a full stretch of 60 to 65 minutes of just full 100%. Never mind just, get the biggest boys on the field and blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. Just have guys that are willing to defend and tackle. Put their bodies on the line. Having that situation there. Having those kind of players, I think can win this game against Kings, who have all the pressure of being the number 1 team in the country. To me, it's just Grammar, just play your thing. Logan, just be out there and just hit everybody. That's how I see it. It's we're going to see a great matchup between two big-time locks who are two New Zealand secondary school caliber locks. We got two midfielders, two midfield combinations going against each other, which I think is probably going to be the biggest spectacle of that game, is having those two midfield combinations going against each other, and who's going to come out with that on top. Because Nico and Bastion are, to me, like next year, they if it wasn't for Cutter, to be honest, if it wasn't for Maxwell Cutter from Hamilton Boys, and I'm just speaking from like right now, I would put Nico and Bastion in midfielders for New Zealand secondary schools next year. Maxwell, on the other hand, has played so well this year that he could make it this year as well. And it should be Maxwell, Cutter, and Nico Stanley next year. Bastion's that good that he should probably be there too. And if they go up against TJ, and that, like, I just think these Kings and Grammar midfielders are so good that I hope that they cancel it out, but Nico's too much of a big deal. A big deal defensively, a big deal physically, and one thing that I love that he defends, and that's fine, and that's whatever, because that's his game, but I want to see him just run it and just smash into some dudes. You know, when you're 6'3" or 4" or whatever he is, and you're such a big body like that, sometimes I say, don't use him as a decoy. Just use him, run him, just run him. Run him into those fellas. Make TJ and that tackle him. Make Saya tackle him. Make them draw both of those fellas in. You know? Make Shumpel come from open side of their scrum and have to come and help. Make it so hard that you have to make Johan come out, and Johan Shumpel has to come out and has to defend him. He has to make that tackle, because you want Saya and TJ to be so tired from tackling him all game that Bastion is just like, Joe, bro, I'm chilling, bro. Once you give me that pass, I'm gone. But if you want to keep smashing them, keep smashing into them. Make Shumpel come over. Make Ethan come over. Make these forwards come over and help out, because he is doing so much damage. I've seen 7 games this year of Grammar. 6 or 7 games. And in my opinion, they underuse him. They underuse him to the point where he is decoy a lot. Why? Why decoy him all the time? Make them tackle him. Not for the fact that, like, oh, they tackled him though. It's like, yeah, but you know that dude's rubbing his shoulders when he's getting up. You know that guy has a headache because he just took a shoulder to his face. Like, you know these guys are going, holy crap, he's taking it in. Like, that's the mindset that I would want to put in defenders first. Not the defenders are saying, oh shoot, he might get the ball. Oh no, he doesn't. Let's go, skip along. It's like, oh, he's coming again. Oh no, he didn't get it. Okay, push out. Oh, he doesn't do. Okay, cram in. He didn't get the ball this time. I was like, bro, who cares about not getting the ball? Give him the ball. We don't need him to make 15 meters every single time. We need him to make 2 meters and 2 guys hurt. We need him to make another 3 meters and make that guy sore. We need that guy in his head go, damn it, I have to do it again. Damn it, I have to do it again. The first 5 we got to go, oh, let's make sure they make him move. I would do that. I would just tell him, Nico, don't worry about running into your second 5. Just run at him. Run at the first 5. Make him tackle him. Make sure that open side has to get over as fast as he can. Like, I don't see why. I think he's underused. In my opinion, he's underused. He's underused and used in the wrong way. I'm not decoying the best player on my team. Now, you don't decoy Jonah Lomu. You don't have Calvin Johnson run down the field on a post route and then not pass him the ball because he's going to beat his man every single time down the field. You don't get LeBron just running around in circles or Curry running around in circles and not give him the ball. You don't have a down cut and then not pass LeBron the ball to dunk it, or have Curry come off a screen and off a down screen and then give him the ball for a three. Like, you don't just do that and just like let him just do it and then you drive to the basket. No, you give them the ball. So if Nico Stanley's standing there, you give him the ball. Make them soar. Make them pay attention to him. Like, really pay attention to him before you start decoying him. But you want him to make some sore bodies out there. Same thing with like when you see Jacob. Like if Jacob Carter's in the lineouts, and honestly, I'll put him in the lineouts against anybody in the country. Even when it comes to like someone like St. Peter's, I'll put him against those two boys. Jesse and Ben. Like I'll make him go against them. Logan's probably going to have to do something about it on Saturday, but I'm going to get Jacob the ball every single time. I'm going to make sure that he wins the ball every single time. Just the same thing with Johan. I'm not going to let him get over that ball. We're going to make sure we try and smash him out of the way. You don't let him get over the ball. Like, I think that there's like... Like even Milne, like you just have to stop him. But you don't decoy him out of the game. You know, you don't... Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, whatever the game plan is, and whenever I've watched them, I always, like, finish watching the game and go, man, did he touch the ball enough? Is always like my mindset. And I only hope that this game becomes really hard and a really big game because Nico gets the ball a lot. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this game. Yeah. Probably last game that I want to talk about, last games, is the Kings Southland one. That's going to be big. The last game that they had, was it a point? Southland won by a point or 3 points or something like that. Real big game. This is the game that I hope. Hopefully they televise this game. Like, and to me, like, I think they should televise all these games. But this Southland and Kings High School game, especially this year, has been really, really good. And I can understand why Southland boys have this hatred for the rest of the country in terms of like, you guys don't pay attention to us, because they are such a good team and they have such a good, outfit out there. And even Kings High School the same way. It's just like, man, we can take some of you fellas in the north. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. But they just need more hard games, hard physical games like this that they get. But that game is going to be one that's probably... Jimmy Taylor's probably going to be the most important guy in that game. And he, to me, is one of those hopefuls for New Zealand secondary schools, Jimmy Taylor. And like, whether you put him at first five, on the wing, or at fullback, like, I think he's just going to do, he's just got everything to me. And he makes that team work. He makes that team work. And I think that they're going to base that attack around him, and I think if Kings are going to win anything, it's making sure that they cancel each other out in the forwards, which they both have really good forward packs, but also that they shut down anything that he kind of does, and don't let Ezekiel get the ball, because that will be a problem. And I hope he's back this week, because he would be like one of those other New Zealand secondary school players that I would say should be in that frame of making New Zealand secondary schools on the wing. And it's cool because we got like legitimate wingers that are like, most of the time they put like centers and second fives out onto the wing, because it's just like, oh no, they can't fit them in the midfield, we'll put them out on the wing. We've got legitimate wingers this year, and Zeke, Cam, Noah, all these guys. What's his name? Tussie is another one from St. Thomas. All these guys, they're legitimate wingers. They're not like fullbacks turned into wingers. They're just wingers. So I wish, I hope that like we're able to see this on TV, and like or someone records it or something, live streams it, because that would be another one of the biggest games that we'll have this year. And then those winners will play the winners of the Miles Toyota Championship or Premiership, and that's where we get our South Island team. But that's where we're at. Oh, the other games: Tangaroa College versus the 1B. To me, maybe has probably got to be the most exciting competition this year. I thought it was better than Super 8. I think it's better than the 1A. I think it's better than the CNI. Maybe Christchurch one is maybe a little bit better in terms of watching it, the drama, the up and down of teams, because they play a first round, 2 pools, then they find the best out of all those teams, and they come out with Tangaroa, Howick, Southern Cross Campus, Maclean's, and those are the 4 top teams. But they also had Otago, Tamaki College, Pakuranga, who I don't think should have been in there, Aorere, was another team, and all those teams in that final round in that top 8. All of them were really, really good teams. All of them were really good and balanced teams throughout the whole competition. So you come down with Tangaroa College and Howick, and Southern Cross Campus and Maclean's. Southern Cross Campus should win. Tangaroa should win. I have a feeling Howick might win, but Tangaroa should win. Maclean's is going to be the one that's going to struggle. But I think Southern Cross Campus should be in the finals with Tangaroa College, but Tangaroa College is probably going to struggle a little bit with Howick, and I think Howick might take this game, even though Tangaroa College finished at the top of the leaderboard. But I wish we were able to watch that. I wish everyone was able to watch that competition from beginning to end. Or even just the second round that they had, the last 4 games of the season, just that second, man, they were just so good, so balanced, so well balanced, really close games in every single game, and it's just they got so much talent in that 1B that I just don't understand why Auckland doesn't look at them a lot more for their under 18 Blues teams, because some of those individuals are just freaking, they're just on point, they really are. But yeah, anyways, coming to the hour, gotta get off here. I'll be down in Taupo this week to watch the CNI Finals, watch everyone go at each other. But yeah, High School Top 200, love you all, later, ball.